What's up everybody, Peter McKinnon here and welcome back to another tutorial. This is actually, let me just break this intro real quick. This is the first time I've ever shot a tutorial style video in this space. So I do realize there's still an echo. We have a company coming on Tuesday to install sound panels everywhere. So hopefully it's not too bad. I've got the mic pretty close and the background is only going to get better, but I'm just super OCD. I had to point that out. However, today is not about this office. It's about photographer Brandon Woelfel. Now, if you don't know who this guy is, here's a quick look at his Instagram grid. I'll just scroll through it a little bit so you guys get a taste of what his style and aesthetic is. He's got 2 million on Instagram. He's an incredible artist, always out there grinding. He shoots every single day. I wish I could shoot as much as he does. He's an absolute beast. I had the pleasure to go shoot with him in Brooklyn this past week with Lauren DIY. You can check her out on Instagram as well. It was really cool getting to watch him in his element, especially because I've followed him on Instagram for so long. Being able to watch another photographer that you admire work, you can learn so much from that. So I had my camera out, I shot a whole ton of B-roll, it looks incredible, and then we went out after, had some coffee, and talked about how it is that he's done what he's done, the empire he's created, the aesthetic that he's created, and how he's become a successful photographer, making a living doing what he loves. So, I'm super pumped to say the least. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Brandon Woelfel. Okay, first things first, I mean, how perfect was it that we found this like super artsy neon room that YouTube set up for their creators to go through during the Creator Summit, that we were just able to shoot this in. It perfectly suits his style. It couldn't have been any better. So I'm really, really pumped I got to portray this guy in his element visually with what I do. So super pumped on that, just wanted to get that out of the way. But we've gone through 5 tips to help you get better portraits, not necessarily the same type of photos that he gets, but 5 things that he does that'll probably help you either finding your own style or help you further develop your own style. And we're gonna start with lighting portraits. So as you've noticed, Brandon loves to light his portraits with neon signs, with external light sources. He's very rarely shooting in a studio with an actual forced light. He's always out in the streets, in urban settings, finding some kind of ambient organic light source and using that to the best of his advantage. As an example, we were just walking around at dusk. As we were walking around, he was pointing out different signs that he's used before in previous shoots. What surprised me the most is I thought they would need to be huge, massive neon signs, but just the smallest little sign that might say ice cream available here or open 24 hours, he's able to pull so much from that. Here's an example. I would have walked straight past this, but he told me this is where he shot these twins earlier in the week. This is the location, this is the actual shot that he got from it. So my mind was completely blown, and it really made me start looking around even more than I already do for these organic, natural neon light sources that are all around us that we otherwise would probably just walk by. So tip number 1 is find those organic light sources, use them to your advantage, use them to light, style, and color your portraits. All right, tip number 2, that would be 4. Tip number 2 is using external accessories and misc items to enhance your photos. What do I mean by this? Brandon is known for using his light prism. Now you can find these on Amazon, I'll link them below. They are absolutely incredible. He handed it to me while we were shooting inside, and the second I put it up to the lens, magic happened. All these incredible crystallized lighting effects started dancing across the lens, which just made the footage look so much better. And that's how he's able to achieve different effects like rainbows, rainbows or certain flares cutting through the frame that look so good and that are so iconic to his style. Now, aside using these specific items, what I find very interesting is that he's taken an item like this prism and made it work for him. Now he's known for it. When you think Brandon Woelfel, you think of that prism, you think of his color palette, you think of his aesthetic, and it's all of these little things amalgamated together that make him who he is. So not only using the prism, but he likes to use a CD because you can get the same sort of rainbow reflection. We were doing that down by the water as the sun set. So carrying a bag of these little items around with you can really help make those portraits stand out when you have more tools in the kit to use. External misc items to enhance your photos. Amazon. Love that. Point number 3 is kind of choosing a time of day to shoot. Now, a lot of people just go out and shoot whenever they can find the time, and I totally understand that. I'm one of those people. But Brandon specifically usually likes to go out at dusk, and he shoots all his portraits at the same time of day. This helps build his style. This helps create that consistent theme, that consistent look, the consistent aesthetic that is his portfolio online. So he's always shooting at dusk. So if you want to make sunset your thing, if you want to make dusk your thing, if you want to make the whole day your thing, that's cool too. But what really helps him pinpoint that style and lock in a look, if you will, is shooting all those portraits at the same time of day every single day. He's never deviating from that. It doesn't mean he doesn't shoot photos if it's not past 8 p.m., but that particular technique is what he uses to create that constant aesthetic that is so pleasing and consistent with him as an artist. It's just like people like Sam Colder, you guys know, who does incredible video work here on YouTube, an amazing cinematographer and filmmaker, usually only shoots at sunrise and sunset. If it's midday, he doesn't even bother with it because his footage is gonna look that much better. This is the same thing here. Now, Brandon also suggests that if you are uncomfortable shooting at dusk, maybe just try only shooting at dusk for the next month and make it a strength. Just because you're scared of it or you're not very good at it doesn't mean it doesn't exist anymore. Take that fear, take that thing that's not a strength and make it a strength. So it's just like we said before, one more tool in your toolkit. Tip number 4 is posing people. Now, this can be very difficult because either photographers aren't very comfortable with telling someone how to pose, photographers don't know how someone should pose, or the model is awkward with posing and they don't know how to pose. So it's very difficult to kind of find that perfect marriage of both artists working together to get the best possible images. But what I've known and what I noticed from him is Brandon doesn't stop moving. He doesn't stop changing the frame. He's constantly changing his orientation. He's going from vertical to horizontal. He's moving the model from left to right. He's having her sit down, stand up, throw her hair back, walk and look backwards. He's always moving that subject through the frame so he has a variety. If he just took the same portrait head on over and over and over until he got that perfect shot, there would be no photo shoot. It would just be 80 portraits from the same angle. So even if you're uncomfortable or you're feeling like you don't know where to move the model, I would suggest just doing anything you can to create some sort of movement. Stand with your back against the wall. Stand with your side against the wall. Okay, put your hand against the wall. Let's come away from the wall. Let's lean in real close to the neon sign. Okay, fall back into these bubbles. Touch one of the bubbles in the sky. Let the bubble fall on your hand. There's constant movement. So having this constant movement creates variety, and that really helps when you're going through your selects. Okay, tip number 5, and this is one of Brandon's big tip takeaways that really helps with his style, is he shoots very underexposed so that he can maintain a low ISO, shoots in RAW so that he can bring that into post after the fact and bring back those shadows and highlights without getting too much noise because he shot at a low ISO. So when you're looking at those shots in camera, you might think to yourself, I did not expose this properly at all. It is way too dark. But if you follow Brandon, you'll know that he posts a ton of before and after photos on his Instagram account almost daily. And you'll see those before pictures look very dark, but when you tap that button and it applies his edits, it comes to life. Like I said, magic happens, and that's by underexposing your portraits in the field, but maintaining that low ISO so you don't get tons of noise, shooting in RAW, and then bringing that back, the highlights and shadows, in post after the fact. That's one of the big ways he's able to achieve this aesthetic all of the time. Now, when you combo that with shooting at dusk, these post-processing tools, thinking about the edit before you take the shots, moving your model around so that you get variety, using external misc items and little things to enhance the photos like a prism, and all of those things wrapped into one photo shoot, you're gonna have something successful. You're gonna have something that you like. And with anything, practice makes perfect. So the more you do it, the better you're going to get. Now, someone like Brandon, like I said, does it every single day. He's always out there shooting, and that's why he's so good. That's why he's able to turn around incredible photos on a daily basis, because he's doing it on a daily basis. If I haven't gone out to shoot for 2 weeks, and then I go out with some friends and try to fire off some bangers, and I come home and I'm like, well, I didn't get anything good. Well, that kind of makes sense because you haven't been doing it for the last 3 weeks. You can't expect to improve if you're not putting in the work to improve. If you aren't already following him on Instagram, you should be, and that is where I'm gonna end things today. So thank you to Brandon Woelfel for letting me tag along and shoot your awesome photo shoot. Thank you also to Lauren for letting me tag along and film this entire photo shoot behind the scenes. I had so much fun. I can't wait to shoot with you guys again. And for everyone watching at home, use this, be inspired, take that feeling you have right now, close the internet, and go take some photos. Peace. Almost forgot my outro. Hit that like button if you like this video. Smash it, that's something that you're into, 2018 style. Subscribe if you aren't already. And I will see you when there's less echo in this studio. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.